the wrong data was removed from the data files.
Thank you very much. I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentlewoman from Michigan is recognized for 5 minutes. Ms. Tlaib.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. Hi, how are you guys? I always feel like, I don't know if it's because I'm new but I always feel like it goes so long and the monotone is the same. And I know the chairwoman wouldn't like me to ask all of us to stand up and stretch, but I do appreciate this. This is a really critical issue in my district. So I represent part of Detroit, but also these Wayne County communities, and we actually have the largest car insurance rates in the nation. One of my zip codes, I think it's an average of over $5,000. And so do you, as agencies, and I'm pretty sure it's a yes, but do you transmit credit scores to car insurance industry?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Yes.
What does a credit score say about the person's driving history or their potential for accidents? Anybody? Mark, James, Craig. You can call me Rashida.
Congresswoman, I can't really respond to how an insurance company uses the data. Maybe one of the other CEOs could.
I can't really respond either, Congresswoman. Other than that, it is just one of many, many factors that goes into deciding how much the cost of insurance is for an individual.
Yeah, I don't have a different answer, Congressman.
Yeah. So one of the things that I've talked to the chairwoman about and some of my colleagues is, you know, I have a resident. She worked at Beaumont Hospital in Michigan for over 25 years. Steady income, great, you know, credit score, decent. As soon as she retired, obviously her fixed income, her income got lower. It impacted her credit score. She had no idea until she got her increase in her insurance rate, car insurance rate. And it went up over $400 or $500, and it's still going up almost every single year. And she called them and she asked, what was the problem? What was the issue? I haven't gotten in a car accident in 55 years, not one ticket. You know, she went to work, came back, and now she just goes grocery shopping or she sees her family. She's an incredibly responsible driver. And their answer was her credit score dropped. And she said, I don't understand how that impacts my driving record. And I ask this, all of you, is, you know, I want to introduce a bill that basically says that you can't provide credit score to the car insurance or the auto insurance industry, because there is no connection with somebody's driving record and what their credit score is. And I would like to hear from you all, and I know this is a risky answer, but would you support something like that?
Congresswoman, I really can't give an opinion on that because I don't know enough about how the insurance industry uses this data. And I think, as Mr. Peck pointed out, I'm sure it's one of multiple data sources they use, including, you know, the driving record of the individual. But again, I'm not skilled enough to provide an answer.
Congressman, I would encourage you to dig into it and ask.
I tend to.
Exactly, and I imagine you do, but exactly how are you calculating the different scores that would impact a driver's rating, which is, you know, which is what drives their insurance rate?
Congresswoman, it's a complex issue that sounds like it's definitely worthy of further study.
So I read somewhere that some of the car insurance industry feel that if their credit score is lower, the likelihood of them committing a crime is higher, a crime of fraud. And if you read and dig deep, many experts say, well, wait a minute, you're punishing somebody for being low income. And most people's credit score is not because they haven't paid a bill. Some it's because they haven't got access to credit. And like you talked about some of the services. And so for my folks, I have the third poorest congressional district in the country. It's not because somebody forgot to pay a bill or like one of my colleagues paid a little bit less than he was supposed to. It's because they have no access to really bringing up their credit score to any equity. And so it is something that's very disturbing because in Michigan, there is no real transit system. The only way to get around to get into a job, I mean, 70% of folks in the city of Detroit actually work outside, like 60% work outside of the city of Detroit. So they have to drive somewhere. And more of our residents are driving without car insurance because of this issue around credit score, with the use of credit score. And so I want to bring that to your attention. And I hope that you all will work with me and many of my colleagues that will be in full support of saying we have to restrict the use of credit scoring as a basis or a circumstance for auto insurance companies as a driving record standard. Say thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Chairwoman. I yield my time.
Thank you very much. The gentleman from Tennessee, Mr. Rose, is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairwoman Waters, and thank you to the three witnesses on the panel today. The proposed Comprehensive Consumer Credit Reporting Reform Act, I assume all three of you are familiar with the terms of that proposed legislation?
Yes.
As I understand it, credit bureaus, the three of